Schefflera, also known as the umbrella plant, is one of my favorite houseplants. It's easy to grow, looks stunning, and requires minimal effort to maintain. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced plant lover, this plant will thrive in your home with just a little care. Let me take you through everything I do to keep my Schefflera healthy, from growing and pruning to propagation. And before we dive in, if you love learning about plants, don't forget to subscribe to Botanical Bliss and share this guide with fellow plant enthusiasts. Schefflera is a low-maintenance plant that adapts well to indoor environments. I always place mine in a bright spot with indirect sunlight, as direct sun can scorch its beautiful leaves. A north or east-facing window works well, but if you only have a west or south-facing one, I recommend using sheer curtains to diffuse the light. If your plant isn't getting enough light, you'll notice leggy growth, which is a sign to move it somewhere brighter. When it comes to soil, I always use a well-draining mix. My favorite blend includes potting soil, perlite, and a bit of compost for added nutrients. Good drainage is key because Schefflera doesn't like sitting in water. I always make sure the pot has drainage holes and never let water accumulate at the bottom. Watering is simple. I wait until the top inch of soil is dry before watering thoroughly. In summer I water more frequently, but in winter I cut back since the plant's growth slows down. Overwatering is a common mistake, and if the leaves start yellowing, it's a sign I need to adjust my watering schedule. Temperature and humidity also play a role in keeping my Schefflera happy. It loves warm temperatures between 60 and 75 degrees Fahrenheit. If it's too cold, the leaves may drop, so I keep it away from drafty windows and air conditioning vents. To maintain the right humidity, I mist the leaves occasionally or place a pebble tray filled with water underneath the pot. Pruning is essential to keep Schefflera looking full and vibrant. I usually prune mine in the spring or summer when it's actively growing. If the plant starts getting too tall or leggy, I simply cut back the stems to encourage bushier growth. Pruning also helps control its size. Left unchecked, Schefflera can grow several feet tall. When I prune, I use clean, sharp pruning shears and make cuts just above a leaf node. This encourages new branches to form and gives the plant a fuller look. If there are any dead or damaged leaves, I remove them right away to keep the plant healthy. Another great thing about pruning is that it gives me plenty of cuttings to propagate. Instead of tossing them out, I use them to grow new plants. Propagation is one of my favorite parts of plant care. Schefflera can be propagated from stem cuttings, and it's an easy way to get more plants for free. Here's how I do it. After pruning, I take healthy stem cuttings that are about 6 inches long and have at least a few leaves. I always cut just below a node because that's where new roots will form. Then, I remove the lower leaves to expose the node and place the cuttings in either water or soil. If I'm rooting in water, I place the cuttings in a glass of water, making sure the node is submerged but the leaves stay above the surface. I change the water every few days to keep it fresh. In a few weeks, roots begin to grow, and once they're a couple of inches long, I transfer the cuttings into soil. For soil propagation, I dip the cut end of the stem in rooting hormone before planting it in moist potting soil. Then, I keep the soil lightly moist and place the pot in a warm, bright spot. Within a few weeks, new growth appears and I know my propagation was successful. Like any plant, Schefflera can run into issues, but I've learned how to handle them over time. If the leaves start turning yellow, I check my watering habits. Too much or too little water can be the culprit. Brown or crispy leaves usually mean low humidity, so I mist the plant or move it to a more humid spot. Pests like spider mites and scale can sometimes appear, but I keep them under control by wiping the leaves with a damp cloth and using insecticidal soap if needed. Regularly inspecting my plant helps me catch problems early before they become serious. Schefflera is such a rewarding plant to grow. It's easy to care for, looks stunning, and adds a touch of green to any indoor space. Plus, with pruning and propagation, I can shape it the way I want and even share new plants with friends. If you're looking for a resilient, beautiful houseplant, I highly recommend giving Schefflera a try. If you enjoyed this guide, don't forget to subscribe for more plant care tips. And if you found this helpful, share it with other plant lovers so they can grow their own beautiful Schefflera too.